2018 Aston Martin V8 Vantage is perfect in lime green, and every other color. As far as famous Aston Martins go, the DB line is probably the most well-known. That's what James Bond drives, that's the one that everyone points to as one of the most beautiful cars in the world, and that's the one that's easy to keep track of, with generations named DB1, DB2, DB4 and so on to DB11. But the Vantage, the smaller one, has been rolling along since 1951 when the name was first used on a hypo version of the DB2, before it became its own lineup. Fast forward almost 7 decades and a new Aston Martin Vantage is here, powered by a 4.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8 making 503 horsepower and 505 pounds-to-foot of torque. That Mercedes-AMG-sourced mill sends power through a rear-mounted ZF 8-speed automatic transmission to a new electronic limited-slip differential and then the rear wheels. That combination is good for a 0-60 sprint of 3.5 seconds, a top speed of 195 miles per hour and a perfect 50 hours 50 minutes weight balance. It comes in at 3,373 pounds dry and with lighter weight options, so we'd guess about 3,600 pounds or so filled up and ready to go. The chassis is an evolution of the bonded aluminum the structure in the DB11, but Aston says 70% of it is new for the Vantage. It also gets the company's latest adaptive damping system with the choice of Sport, Sport Plus and Track modes. Speaking of those modes, all of the Vantage's systems, electronic differential, dynamic torque vectoring, dynamic stability control, adaptive damping and the electric power steering systems, work as one, getting more aggressive as the driver goes up in modes. Like many supercars in its class, the Vantage has an independent double wishbone setup in front and a multi-link suspension in back. It has coil springs at the corners and anti-roll bars front and back. It's shod with Pirelli P0 255/40/20s in front and 295/35/20s in back. The new V8 Vantage has some Vulcan styling in the front with a wide-open grille that looks suspiciously like the Aston Martin logo upside down. Air flows in through a system of fences that channels it where it needs to go, including to the rear diffuser, which keeps the back end planted. New side vents bleed air from the front wheel arches. Inside, we can see sharper lines and a high belt line. Like the DB, the Vantage sports a push-button transmission, and there and number 39, a very Mercedes-like central controller for the infotainment system. Materials include a combination of perforated leather and synthetic suede, and Aston says it will offer a bunch of personalization with optional colors, materials, etc. Other standard equipment includes keyless entry and auto-stop, start, park distance sensors, an 8-inch LCD screen, Bluetooth, navigation and iPhone playback. It strangely doesn't mention Android, but we'll assume that works too. The Vantage is on sale now starting at $149,995. Deliveries will begin second quarter 2018. Jake Lingeman. Jake Lingeman is road test editor at Autoweek, reviewing cars, reporting on car news, car tech and the world at large. See more by this author. Car news, classic cars, photo, supercars, authors, Jake Lingeman, luxury. Other news, coupe, Aston Martin, Vantage.